A Cuban link ring can look perfectly sized in Rhino, but after printing and casting, it may not fit correctly. That happens because the raised link and open space prevent the ring from fitting exactly like a smooth round band. In this tutorial, I'll show you how to model a continual Cuban link style, compensate for those high and low area, and keep the finished ring as close as possible to the intended size. Let's get started. First of all, we're gonna use the circle command, and coming into my front view, I'm going to type it 0 here. For the diameter, I'm going to set it up for 16 millimeter right there. All right, so this is the basic ring size I'm going to work on. The next things I wanted to do is to draw ellipse from the center. So I'm gonna type it 0 here, and to decide how big this link is going to be, it can be big or it can be small, it's up to you. So I'm going to do something like that. Next, we're gonna twist it to getting into the shape. Now, the best way that I found is actually rebuild this curve using the rebuild command, and right here for the count we can stay the same, but it just need to make sure the degrees equal 3 and click OK. All right, so with this I need to have this one and this one go higher, and this one go lower. Now you can decide it like exactly where you want to go higher and lower, but basically if I have another chain coming up here, and it won't be touching. So this is basic what we wanted to do. All right, the second thing that we are going to have is somewhere about here in the middle of this chain. I wanted to come back and then follow in the ring, right? So I'm going to hide in this ring here, just, you know, doesn't bother us on the curve that we are looking at it. All right, so I'm going to somewhere about right here, and I'm going to trim it off the bottom, and this one need to be blended back to where my shank is, right? And I want them to be closer, so actually I'm going to draw a tab, a little bit tab here to help me. And on my top view, if you look at the curve, this is a curve that I have, and I'm going to use the blend command, and let's go ahead to blend in between here and here. So then you can see this curve is nicely blending over there. Let's take a look on the bottom right here. All right. Now, if I also going to have this one to mirror to the other side, and using the same command for blend curve, I'm going to blend it from here and here, and it will look perfect, right? Let me go ahead to join them first. I'm just gonna do a really quick test by using the pipe command, and this pipe I wanted to radius for 1 millimeter. So you can see that this is fine over here, this is there, but this is where we need to pay attention. If I'm going to draw a line using a lowest spot that I see right here, for example from here to here, I kind of noticed that this as well be my ring shank and where it is. So you're gonna have this big gap right there. Those are all the gap. Unless your shank is somewhere here, and you can compensate here, there a little bit. But easier to calculate it, I actually want them to moving the whole section of this lower bottom close to where I want it, which is more close to the ground. Or at least you can put the ground like somewhere there. This little triangle will be compensated with this space, but this at least need to move down. All right, so what we wanted to do is not on the surface that we build, we actually need to work on this one. If we take a look on this one, you can see I have all this curve right here. In order to adjust this curve, first things I wanted to do is I wanted to rebuild this curve. And in this case, I might need to get a lot more points. Well, actually, currently the point is 21. So let's try something with the same odd number. I'm going to try 15 first and see if it is close. And what I'll go is get the last point as possible, but still working, right? So let's try 13 and see if it is still working. And it's working fine there. All right. The second thing I wanted to do is I actually want to pick up all those curves, and I want to align to the bottom, and to align bottom to this point right there, or maybe a little bit higher. So that way we will have them, at least they all close it the same level. For example, something like this, and look like I need to have them a bit lower. I should have moved them up, so I might want to have something like this. All right, so this is a really key part to make your ring size correctly. If I'm going to have this one and to go to the other side, let's see, if you mirror, you're going to get something like this. Notice that it is the same angle. So a lot of time in this case, instead of a mirror, we will need to just using the rotate and make sure copy equal yes, snapping into the 0, and we want to flip it to the other side. Okay, I might get this a little bit too close. I'm just gonna move out a little bit, and then have, it depends on the look that you want, but I'm just going to move out a little bit and do it again to rotate it and rotate it to the other side. All right, let's give it a try if we are going to make them into a pipe and with the same diameter, and then we will have them hook really right, and then on the bottom it's all flat. Right, so now what we wanted to do is to have this one to be on the circle that we have. Getting the shape right is only one part of a jewelry cat. You also need to understand the sizing, thickness, and how the model will behave in the production. If you are learning Rhino for jewelry design, you can download my free beginner jewelry cat roadmap. Use the link below in the description. Now let's build the completed pattern. So let's go back with the circle right there, and I'm simply just going to have this one moving on the side, and just for the comparison, let's find out what is the length by typing the command for length, and this is 50.265. So I'm gonna come in here for the polyline, and I'm gonna draw a line right here exactly the same length. Hit enter. So then we will have the length like this. All we need to do is align with our pattern. So let's go ahead to group our pattern, picking on both of them on my top view, and I want to use align centers to align them. So now they are right in the center. In my front view, now I'm going to moving this curve down to the bottom, and that is close to my ring shank there. All right, and it will be like that. Now, if you are going to pipe it, for example, if we are going to pipe it, and we are going to pipe it as 1 millimeter in the radius, and I'm just going to do something really quick here, and you can see this one is like this. So if you're planning to pipe it, you might want to move it down 0.5 millimeter for whatever that you are planning to have in compensated those. All right, and I keep saying that you need to do a test because depends on the curve that you have. The bigger curve that you have, you might need to kind of offset this higher and lower spot. Okay, so I'm gonna stay right there. Now the second key is I don't want to creating a surface first and flow it back, because it's always creating the very complicated surface. All right, so I actually just want to flow this back. All right, let's ungroup it first, and we are going to use the flow command. We're gonna flow all three curves right here, and pick up here and pick up the target, and it is like that is because the seam was on the side. So simply we just going to move it back like this. All right. Oh, I kind of noticed that it's on the wrong side, so actually let me do it one more time. We are going to use the flow. It happens all the time. We're gonna pick up this one. I'm gonna pick up this end, and I want to pick up at this end, so it will come into the outside. All right. You see, there's a little bit gap that we intentionally to have it. If we are going to pipe it, this one the same, and you're going to see that it's more close to your ring size, and you can adjust it a little bit if you want to, but I'm going to stop it here. So on the top we have this, and of course you don't have to use a pipe. You can always use a sweep to get this really nicely. All right, and on the bottom we can close it by removing those cap here. So let's go ahead to remove the cap by extract the surface of this guy and this guy here, and we can delete them. All right, and we may need to duplicate the edges first, and let's go ahead to duplicate the edges for those and for those. All right, so we're gonna come into the sweep one rail. This is the rail, this is the cross section, go from here to here, and we get that first section there. So then we're gonna do it again. We can use any of the poly surface H, and we're gonna sweep from here to here. So then you can close the one on the bottom. Again, you don't have to use the pipe because it looks really linear. Now you can see why modeling a Cuban link ring is not only about creating a Chen pattern. Before producing this type of design, I recommend testing the model and make any necessary size adjustment based on the shape and thickness of your links. If you are beginning your jewelry CAD journey, you can download my free beginner jewelry CAD roadmap below in the description. It will help you understand what to learn, what to practice, and how to progress toward the production-ready model. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more practical jewelry CAD tutorial, and I'll see you in the next video.